In August 2015, I purchased an 8 foot by 6 foot shed. It was an ex-display model and including delivery, I paid less than £250 for it. My intention for this was to have a space in which to store small items without the need to pay for self-storage. In that respect, the investment would pay off over time. When I built this shed, it's fair to say that I could have done a better job of it. Looking at the state of the roof and the sagging all around the structure, you can see evidence of this. This first video will focus on my attempts to improve the foundations. I had decided that I would keep the 4x2 sub-base that the shed floor had been sat on for the past 5 years. I bought a few 3x3 tannalised fence posts, which will be chopped up into shorter lengths and used as feet to help me level the base. This timber is sold as having been incised. Essentially this means that the wood has been fed through a series of rollers that perforate all the surfaces. Then when the timber is sent into a vacuum chamber to be tannalised, there's a greater chance that the chemicals will penetrate deeper into the wood and improve its resistance to rot and decay. But as always when working with pressure treated timber, it's important to retreat and seal any cut ends or edges. On the next day, I began dismantling the shed, having cleared the contents from inside and temporarily stored them elsewhere, which basically means leaving them under a cover outside. I deliberately picked a couple of dry days in which to do this work. What was left of the roofing felt came away with ease and was soon followed by the soggy Weetabix sheets the manufacturers supplied only to keep costs down. It was always going to be a challenge to take the walls down without a second pair of hands. Once they were unscrewed and free of the floor, I would use clamps to hold pieces together at the corners before strategically removing the rest of the screws. I found a few more flagstones to improve the foundations and set them out in a more supportive manner. Beneath this I laid a cheap tarpaulin over the grass to act as a weed suppressant. I was also looking to relocate the shed by a few metres. This was at my mum's request. It's her garden, I live elsewhere and wouldn't have to live with looking at this every single morning. Where the 4x2 sub-base had bowed, I decided to flip it over so that it was high in the centre. By then placing heavy weight on the centre, I could begin to look at levelling the subfloor while keeping it flat. It was then a case of fixing the new supporting legs with long screws. From memory there were either 16 or 20 of these around the structure. I would start by fixing one corner, then raising the next until my spirit level said it looked good, fixing that, then continuing my way around. In the next video I'll show you how I reassembled the shed and made improvements to the roof. Thanks for watching, hope you're all keeping well and see you again soon.